Let me ask you about Hallelujah for a moment,
Sure.
because it's been an interesting year for Hallelujah. If it hadn't been a song that Canadians and people around the world have been singing versions by Jeff Buckley, Rufus Wainwright, Katie Lang, it took on a whole new energy. A song that you wrote in 1984, this past Christmas, where it appeared #1 and #2 on the UK
Right.
bestseller charts, and your version, these were cover versions, and your version was also in the top 40 from 1984. What did you make of that?
Well, there was a certain sense of, I was happy that the song was being used. Of course, there were certain ironic and amusing sidebars, because the record that it came from, which was called Various Positions, that record Sony wouldn't put out. They didn't think it was good enough. It had songs like Dance Me to the End of Love, Hallelujah, If It Be Your Will, but it wasn't considered good enough for the American market. It wasn't put out. So there was a certain sense of, a mild sense of revenge that arose in my heart. But I was happy about it, but I was just reading a review of a movie called Watchmen that uses it, and the reviewer said, "Can we please have a moratorium on Hallelujah, in movies and television shows?" I kind of feel the same way.
I was going to say, to which you placed a stern phone call and said, no, let's keep it going. But it's an interesting, the song kind of transcends musical genres. It's not a typical pop song, but it doesn't. Not only does it not seem to go away, it seems to grow in its popularity with each year. I know it's one of your favorite songs. You've said so.
I like the song. I think it's a good song, but I think too many people are singing. I think people ought to stop singing it for a little while. I don't know. One is always trying to write a good song, and like everything else, you put in your best effort, but you can't command the consequences. So it took a long time. The song was written. I think the song came out in 83 or 84. And then the only person who seemed to recognize the song was Dylan. And he was doing it in concert. Nobody else recognized the song until quite a long time later, I think. When was Jeff Buckley's?
In 92 or 93.
92, so it's almost 10 years later. I knew his father very well, Jeff Buckley. I was in the room when Katie Lang sang it at the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame. That really touched me.
Do the songs ever? Do they feel like possessions in the sense that, is there ever a version of somebody working with your writing that you don't appreciate, where you sort of say?
Very, very rarely does that happen. I'm not sure it has ever happened. I had a very modest career for most of my life, and I was always happy when someone did one of my songs. So that overrode most of the critical concerns I might have had. In fact, my critical faculties went into suspended animation when someone would do one of my songs, and I generally was just delighted when anybody, and I still feel that way.
About 2 days ago, I woke up in Australia. I saw the bomb go off, and I felt sad that the French government had joined a long list of fools who insist on sending death sentences to the earth. This is for all the people who know that the only good place for a nuclear bomb is in the garbage dismantled. This is for Leonard, wherever you are, and this is for Nina Simone. I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. And she tied you to her kitchen chair. She broke your throne and she cut your hair. But from your lips she drew the hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Yeah, well, baby, I've been here before. I've seen this room and I've walked this floor. Yes, I used to live alone before I knew you. And I've seen your flag on the marble arch. And love is not some victory march. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Well, there was a time when you let me know what's really going on below. But now you never show that to me, do you? Well, remember when I moved in you, and the holy dove was moving too, and every breath we drew was hallelujah. Maybe there is a God above, but all we've ever learned from love was how to shoot at someone who outdrew you. And it's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not somebody who's seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah.